What just happened? Princess Leonor's spectacular wedding leaves everyone speechless. What just happened? Princess Leonor's wedding was supposed to be a picture-perfect royal fairy tale, carefully scripted by tradition and duty. But in Madrid, under the watchful eyes of the world, something unfolded that no one expected. This wasn't just a royal wedding, it was a breathtaking declaration that left the palace, the guests, and millions across the globe completely speechless. Because in that single moment, Leonor shattered centuries of expectation and showed us that love could shine brighter than duty itself. But what exactly happened inside that cathedral, and why is everyone still talking about it? To understand why this moment stunned the world, we first need to step back. Princess Leonor of Spain, the poised, dutiful heir to the Spanish throne, has lived her entire life under the shadow of expectation. From her earliest years, the Spanish people were told she was destined to reign, the first queen regnant in centuries, a future monarch who carried the weight of history on her young shoulders. Every move, every word, every dress she wore was scrutinized by the press, compared to her mother, Queen Letizia, or even the late Queen Elizabeth of England. Leonor was not supposed to live for herself, she was meant to live for Spain. And then came Christian of Denmark. A friendship that blossomed into something more. At first, people dismissed it as youthful infatuation. Two heirs, two countries, brought together by coincidence. But slowly, the whispers grew louder. This was not a passing fancy. This was real. And the palace, especially King Felipe and Queen Letizia, could no longer ignore the truth. So when the wedding was announced, the world braced itself. Would Leonor choose love or crown? Would she bend to tradition or rewrite it? And then, on the morning of the wedding, the world watched in awe. From the streets of Madrid, lined with flags and flowers, to the cathedral, where foreign dignitaries, royals, and world leaders gathered, it felt like Spain itself had paused to witness history. Cameras captured every detail. The polished uniforms of guards, the glitter of royal jewels, the murmurs of anticipation. But nothing could prepare anyone for what came next. The doors opened. Leonor appeared, radiant in her gown, but more than just a bride, she looked like a queen stepping into destiny. The crowd gasped. Reporters whispered. And as she walked down that aisle, hands steady, eyes glistening, something shifted. This was not the shy girl of years past. This was a woman determined to stand on her own terms. Then came the vows. And here is where the shock truly began. Instead of the restrained, scripted phrases expected of royalty, Leonor's voice trembled with raw emotion. She spoke not only to Christian, but to her people, her family, her nation. She declared that love was not a weakness, but a strength. That duty and heart could exist together. And that she would not abandon her crown, nor the man she loved. The cathedral fell silent. Some guests smiled, others looked stunned, and even Queen Letizia was seen dabbing at her eyes. Christian, visibly moved, took her hand with a firmness that spoke louder than any speech. And in that instant, the world realized they were witnessing something unprecedented, not a royal union of arrangement, but a marriage of choice, courage, and love. But this is where the questions begin. Why did this moment leave even seasoned royals speechless? Because this wedding broke barriers. For centuries, marriages among heirs were contracts of politics and power. Leonor had every reason, and pressure, to conform. Yet she didn't. She walked straight into the future she believed in. Of course, whispers of controversy swirled. Some politicians questioned what this union meant for Spain's monarchy. Was Leonor compromising her future reign? Was Christian truly ready to share the weight of two thrones, or was this too much for love to bear? And what about Infanta Sofia, Leonor's younger sister? Observers noted her emotional reaction during the ceremony. Was it joy, pride, or perhaps a hint of sadness as she realized her sister's path would forever change the dynamics of their family? Then there was the Spanish public. Crowds outside erupted in cheers so loud they drowned out the cathedral bells. Many wept openly, waving flags, chanting her name. To them, this wasn't just a royal wedding. It was proof that Leonor was human, relatable, capable of following her heart. But for others, there lingered unease. Could a queen truly balance such a personal choice with the demands of monarchy? The reception that followed only deepened the intrigue. Dignitaries from across Europe, including the Danish royal family, mingled with Spanish elites. Cameras captured the warmth between the families, King Felipe and Queen Margrethe of Denmark exchanging knowing smiles, Queen Letizia visibly emotional yet proud. It was as if two nations, once divided by geography, were now united by love. Yet even in the grandeur of the palace halls, one could feel the weight of what had just happened. This wasn't just a marriage, it was the start of a new royal chapter. And yet, beneath the joy, new questions were quietly forming. Would Leonor's reign now be shaped by this union? Would Spain accept a foreign-born prince consort with such influence? What tensions might arise in the years ahead, especially as Europe's monarchies struggle to remain relevant in a modern world? What no one can deny is the emotional impact of the moment. When Leonor and Christian stepped onto the balcony, hand in hand, facing a sea of thousands waving and crying, it felt less like a royal formality and more like a love story shared with the world. Their kiss, spontaneous, genuine, ignited applause and even sobs from the crowd. It was raw, real, and unforgettable. But perhaps the most striking image of all came later, when Leonor addressed her people for the first time as a married woman. Her voice was steady, her message clear. She promised to honor her crown, her family, and her husband, not as separate paths, but as one. The audience was left stunned, realizing this was not the beginning of a compromise, but the birth of a new kind of monarchy. And so, the wedding that was expected to be ordinary, even predictable, became the event that redefined an heir's destiny. What just happened? Princess Leonor chose not between love and duty, but both. And in doing so, she left everyone, from royals to common citizens, from journalists to heads of state, utterly speechless. Yet the story doesn't end here. Because now, the world waits to see, can this bold decision stand the test of time? Will Leonor prove that love can strengthen a crown instead of weakening it? Or will the weight of tradition push back against her choice? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. History has already been made, and no one who witnessed it will ever forget what they saw on that unforgettable day.